Welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. You saw the title, you saw my face, now you click the video, let's do it. Here are the top 10 unsettling things the government hopes you never see. Kicking off the list at number 10, Project X-ray. This is one of the craziest things that I've ever heard, okay, so buckle up. During World War II, bat bombs were being tested. Yeah, bat bombs, not bath bombs. Bath bombs are lovely, I'll take those any day. Bat bombs are a little bit different. Bat bombs were a large canister that, well, as you guessed, held bats. Units would hold over 1,000 bats, and as it was landing, a parachute would deploy and the bats would safely disperse. They would fly out randomly. These hibernating Mexican free-tailed bats would go everywhere, nooks and crannies, attics, anywhere near wood and paper in Japanese cities. That was the whole idea. These bats were all armed to, you know, in said nooks and crannies. You're probably thinking, Taylor, which mad scientist thought of all this? Who in the hell would do such a thing? Well, a dental surgeon from Irwin, Pennsylvania. That's who. A gentleman named Lytle S. Adams. A guy named Lytle did all this. He was friends with First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt, and he pitched his idea to the White House back in January 1942, right after Pearl Harbor. He pitched the idea of bats settling in before dawn in these buildings that were mostly wood rather than concrete, and its name then changed to Project X-ray, and in an early test, the bats got loose. Oopsies. They settled under a fuel tank, and on May 15th, 1943, there was a huge fire at the New Mexico Air Base. Yeah, that's what happens when you store thousands of bats. The project was canceled because of the atomic bomb's success, but Adams argued that the bat method to end the war could have been a lot less devastating. Honestly, I don't know, man. Both are pretty horrible. Bat bombs sounds like something the Green Goblin would use. So, in my opinion, all bad. It's a snow day here in Canada. We're not working from home. This is just literally like we're snowed in. How Canadian is that? Number 9, bird drones. Might as well include some bird conspiracies, because why not? First of all, it's worth mentioning before I dive in here, a large amount of people don't believe in birds. There are just some who think birds are drones that spy on us, specifically pigeons of all the creatures, which really, that's insane to me. Pigeons? I see pigeons downtown all the time. To be fair, they're always pretty close to you. They're always really close to you. Like a pigeon asked me for $1 the other day, you know what I mean? They're way too comfortable around people. But I don't think they're drones by any means, but who knows? Because bird drones, that's not a new concept by any means. Back in the early 60s, the CIA had this secret program called Project Aquiline, where they used small drones, well, rather large drones, with a low radar cross-section and a little camera, all that fancy spy stuff, and they began working on it back in 1965, and the first prototype was a bit obvious, to say the least. It weighed over 100 pounds, and it was this massive eagle-looking drone. I guess it looked like an eagle, probably didn't, it was probably horrible. But the only way to catch it at that point was to fly it into a net, which broke something on this device every single time. You couldn't just land a drone. We didn't get there quite yet. Now we have that bowling alley drone video. Now it's honestly crazy. Like a little bit too much if you ask me. So cut to 2022. Yeah, there's for sure a drone pigeon out there somewhere. Olivia just did a couple lists on hidden cameras and stuff. So birds, drones, probably. It's probably a part 3 coming soon. They found a hidden camera in a cactus, so sleep in fear, really. Number 8, Pine Gap. Going to the land down under for this one, yeah, Pine Gap is a secret military compound built around the Cold War. It's been described as Australia's Area 51. All we know of this secret base on this mysterious island was revealed back in 2013 thanks to Edward Snowden. Turns out this island is not a resort. In fact, it's a satellite surveillance base that runs espionage operations. AKA the Winter Soldier is probably just chilling out there, who knows? The NSA uses this facility for global interception, and they also collect internet and telephone communication records. Back in the 70s, around 400 American families moved to the nearby Alice Springs. Oh, what does your husband do? Oh, he surfs. He surfs the waves and the web. He surfs everything, really. He's here for it all. Pine Gap. Bring your kids. Stay a while. Also, don't leave the island. See ya. Number 7, heart attack gun. Yeah, the heart attack gun, that's a thing, apparently. Let's talk about it. The CIA had this weapon. It was more of a dart gun than anything, but the heart attack gun sounds pretty on the nose for this list. It shot out a frozen dart that was filled with a specific toxin that, you guessed it, gives its victim a heart attack. It was frozen on purpose. That way the dart would ideally melt away, destroying all the evidence. The CIA was really into poisons during the Cold War, and apparently they just loved darts too. Public caught wind of this all thanks to Senator Frank Church when Congress decided to take a little peek into where tax dollars were going. They found this plethora of illegal methods used by not only the CIA, but the NSA, the FBI, and the IRS. A lot of letters coming at you fast there. Frozen darts, that's wild. What a confusing way to go out also. Just getting hit here and be like, what the? And then, ow, that's it. Just ow, ow, ow. Horrible. You have no idea what happened. This is crazy. Number 6, Heard Island. Right in the middle of Antarctica in Australia is Heard Island. The Australian government, yeah, we're mixing it up for number 6. We're going to Australia again. The Australian government has made it illegal for anybody to kayak up to this island with their Crocs and a lunch. It's not that easy to get up. The big secret here is that there's animals that are unique to the island, living there. So animals that we know nothing about, basically. Is this Jurassic Park in real life? I need answers. I mean, the spiders in Australia alone are enough for me to never visit, so I can't even imagine what must be on Heard Island. The island itself is interesting geographically. It's got 2 volcanoes and the tallest mountain in Australia, so there's plenty of space for all those creepy crawlies. A lot of room for like King Kong versus Kong vs. Godzilla. They probably filmed that there, really, in Australia. I also love the idea of humans just not being allowed to have everything that they want. That's how it should be. Let's leave one island to the animals, maybe. Just one. I don't know. Number 5, Project Iceworm. Here's a fun one. As a Canadian, this secret project sounds like the worst one on this list. It sounds so cold, coming from a guy who can't go to work because of the snow. Back in the 1960s, under the Greenland ice sheet, the US Army started to build mobile nuclear missile launch sites, codenamed Project Iceworm, because how fun of a name is that? They were close enough that they could hit targets within the Soviet Union without getting caught. That was the whole point. This was Project Iceworm, but there was another project called Camp Sentry, and this one had to be done first, because you can't just hit the road with a few shovels and figure it out when you get there. You gotta make sure it's livable first. So Camp Sentry was a network of underground tunnels and places for workers to stay, like a kitchen, a hall, supply room, communication center, stuff like that, you get it. This was kept from the Danish government for 7 years. So as far as secrets go, it's honestly not bad. But in 1966, the project was canceled because of shifting ice. Mother Nature always wins. Number 4, Surtsey Island. The island where seeds are forbidden. Leave those dill pickle sunflower seeds at home, or else. Some islands are forbidden, like, Heard Island. They're home to animals and wildlife that the government refuses to let humans be part of. That makes sense. But when it comes to Surtsey Island near Iceland, this is a brand new island. Like literally, it's brand new. It formed from a volcanic eruption back in 1963, and scientists are using the fresh face of land to study what it looks like to, again, not have humans involved for once. Rule number 1, though, don't talk about Surtsey Island. Rule number 2, same as rule number 1. Rule number 3, no seeds on Surtsey Island. No seeds. That's a real rule that you have to follow. Because one time a scientist had to go number 2, and then in turn he accidentally grew a tomato plant. What a monster. Yeah, this guy took a shit at work. Get him out of here. God forbid. See ya. No one on this island. Number 3, the spinning cube. All right, somebody call Shia LaBeouf. We have a mysterious space cube again. He can do it. If anyone can do it, he can. Just yell into it and see what happens. Yell into it for an hour and a half. That'll solve it. You thought we were done with UFOs. Well, so did I, but now another video has the internet buzzing. I'm not gonna lie though, this one's kind of weird. It's a little convincing. A few months ago, this spinning cube looking drone thing, alien transformer, I don't know, was spotted over Missouri, and then only a couple hours later, it was seen again 700 miles away. 44-year-old Matthew Jandeka was minding his own beeswax hanging out on the porch when this caught his attention in the sky. It was a sunny day, the light reflecting off the cube caught his eye. A day earlier though, another guy, 30 years old, Justin Johnson, he saw the exact same thing. He saw it driving home. Same thing though, the light and the reflections of it caught his eye in the sky. His eye in the sky like a pie. Apparently I'm rhyming, that's cool. At first I thought maybe it was a balloon, but the movements, it's kind of odd. I don't know. Another drone project? Is this just a big bird? It's the big bird project? What do we think, people? I need answers. Sound off below. Number 2, VX gas. The government using gas to take out targets. What is this, Mission Impossible? I won't be able to sleep after this list. VX gas is tasteless and odorless, and it can take you out with just skin contact alone. It's pretty terrifying. The nerve agent VX is of course extremely illegal, and it came from ICIS research from the early 50s when developing new insecticides. I don't know how to say that without sounding like a weirdo. Well, it worked a little too well, we'd say, and it was swiftly outlawed. But the bell can't be unrung and humans are awful because this was the same nerve gas that was used to take out Kim Jong-nam back in 2017. He was attacked at an airport. 2 people rubbed a cloth on his face covered in this VX stuff, and he died on the way to the hospital. Guy had a seizure. It was done that fast. Initially, officials thought that cyanide was used here, but in reality, it was only 10 milligrams of this VX. So far, that's the only confirmed case of VX being used to take somebody out. It's the only one that we know, like I said, so far. And finally, coming in at number 1, Prism. Not the Katy Perry album. That one's not bad. Not bad. Dark Horse, pretty good. The worst part of training for any job is the PowerPoint that you have to watch. It's always way too long. There's always a health and safety video from like 1987 beforehand. Like it's before WMIS even. It's all a joke. But believe it or not, the CIA also needs to watch PowerPoints when it comes to their training. Specifically, this 41-page PowerPoint when it was leaked back in 2013 from our guy, Edward Snowden. He just woke up and chose violence back in 2013. Remember that? That was fast. The guy just exposed everybody for no reason. We love it. But this 41-page PowerPoint was a big deal. This program was called Prism, and it cost about $20 million a year, and it began back in 2007. The PowerPoint confirmed that the NSA has access to servers belonging to these massive tech giants like Google, Skype, or YouTube. Yeah, I know. right? So your search history, emails, anything that rolls through any of those, usernames, even passwords, odds are they've got them somewhere. So start deleting all those old emails. Dirty Mike 67. Guys, those are the top 10 unsettling things the government hopes you never see. If you want a part 2, I'll gladly dive in. This was a pretty odd one. Now I'm more upset than anything. I've been your host, Taylor McWaters. Have a safe week and we'll see you next time. Peace.